as you guys can see, we have custom wheels, custom fender, and the old mud flaps had to go. So what are we doing now is we are installing new mud flaps to support the bigger tires, and in order to do this we'll have to remove the pocket fenders as well as the wheel, and make some custom brackets to attach these mud flaps to. To take the wheel off, we first have to raise the other ones on the one side. Make sure you position yourself if the jack does decide to slip, that it doesn't fall or hurt you in any place. Okay, so let's loosen the lug nuts. Usually if you use a hand socket, you won't raise the wheel off the ground first to give you some force or traction to loosen the lug nuts. We're using the easy method. What we're going to do is put one at the top, leave it at the top, just so that it holds it down. Now these wheels are about 160 pounds, and in order to lift it, you can try to lift it, but that will hurt your back, and especially if you get as old as me, it's easier to invest in one of these little jack dollies. And as you can see, it will raise the wheel. Now you can remove the last lug nut. And you can slide it off. And there's no hurting your back. So raise it off the ground to roll it. So the next thing we are going to do is just mark the fenders. To have a place to line it up. There are holes and screws in, but just to be on the safe side, we are marking 2 spots.
Okay, so this one's
So there's a couple of these plastic fender holders, and what we need to do is remove those first before we can remove the fender. And they just normal, once they screw in, just to expand the back. And as you can see, this one was too big, it just pulled it out, so we'll replace those with bigger ones. Okay, oh, here's the removal tool to pull these out. Alright, so now the final part is to remove the screws and remove the fender. Keep that one in for last. And there's the fender. So because the fender is plastic, we can't just attach the mud flap to the fender. It is too heavy. So what we are going to do is put 2 aluminum brackets on the outside and 1 aluminum bracket at the bottom that will allow us to put bolts in and attach the mud flap then to those 3 brackets after we put the fender back in. Okay, let's get started. As you can see, we've put the custom brackets on. They are riveted to the body with stainless steel countersink rivets. This is aluminum, so we won't get rust. And there's the 3rd bracket in. And what we are going to do now is drill the holes, put the fender back, drill the holes to get the position for the bolts to fit in. Okay, because the fenders are back on, what I did is before I put it on, I marked the centers of the brackets, and what we'll do is now we'll line up the mud flap and drill the first hole to get to the center, and hopefully we'll get the center of the bracket. Okay, we've hit the brackets on both sides, on both of the brackets. So the brackets are a little bit further away on the body, between the body and the fender. So I am supporting the gap with 6 washers, stainless steel washers, and a bolt to keep them in place, or nut to keep them in place. So as it gets screwed in, this will get tightened, and the bolt will then pull tight with the surface it's holding. Now we are attaching it. Okay, just making sure that the fender screws are tight, and there we go. Mud flaps are in. Remember, a torque wrench is not there to torque up the lock nut. It's there to loosen it and just to lightly tighten it, because you want to torque it up with a real torque wrench. So we're just tightening it to make sure it's seated. Now we're gonna let the truck down and then torque up the wheels. Okay, these are torqued to 165 foot-pounds. You can hear the click, it means it's torqued.